Hey guys, it's Vash, and we're back with a little bit more stuff to talk about with E3. I know it's been a few days, it's been like 4 or 5 days since I've uploaded, but boy, was E3 extremely busy. I just had no time to do anything. I was gone all day, I'd get home late, go to sleep, wake up, do it all over again tomorrow. So today is the first day that I actually have some time to myself. I had some friends over staying for E3, we were hanging out and all that, but now it's time to get back to business. Now, I told you guys that we would talk about Resident Evil 2 in a little more detail. I did get to play Resident Evil at E3. Luckily, I got to play Resident Evil. A lot of people didn't because the lines were too damn long. But they showed us 2 trailers for Resident Evil 2 at E3. There was one they showed during the Sony press conference, and then there was another one uploaded to YouTube. So there's 2 demos, which I will be having. I will have playing in the background. I don't know what's going on with me today. What's going on? I just want to jump into it. So, here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what we know about Resident Evil 2 and what I personally know about it from playing it, to let you guys know what's going on. I wrote up lists of things that I wanted to talk about after I finished playing it. So the first thing I want to mention is a lot of people asked, how is the gameplay? Are there fixed camera angles, or is it like Resident Evil 4? So the game reminds me of a less restricted RE4. To me, RE4 felt kind of like 3D tank controls to an extent. This one, it's similar, but you get a little more movement out of it. So it's extremely similar to RE4. In an email I got from Capcom, it says that it said something like classic controls. It's like, oh, you can try out the new controls on top of our already classic stuff. So maybe there'll be fixed camera angles. They wouldn't let you change them in the demo. There was no option to change them in the demo. But I have a feeling they might have something in it because the email mentioned something like that. One thing you're gonna notice about watching the trailers and if the demo gameplay, if you can find it, which it's pretty easy to, the game's extremely dark. It is extremely dark, very, very dark. Leon carries a flashlight with him the majority of the demo, which he only turns on when he's in a room that does not have lights on. And some rooms you can find light switches to turn them on so that he doesn't have to use his flashlight, which is kind of cool because he holds his flashlight and his gun like he did in the RE 3.5 demo. You know, the one that came out before 4. Remember when he had the flashlight? He would like hold the flashlight and his gun over it, which is really cool. So he actually does that now, because I know in RE4 when he had a flashlight, he had like a magic flashlight that pointed everywhere from his belt. But the game is dark as hell. You can't see anything. They wouldn't let us change the darkness in the game, but it is going to be very, very dark to make it scary, because I guess, according to them, if it's dark, it's scary. Usually, to me, just because you can't see doesn't mean that it's scary. It makes it a little more tense because you can't see, but it's not really scary. With the pacing of the game, I know a lot of people were asking questions like, oh, is it going to be all action-y? Is it going to be blah, 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 blah? So the pacing feels almost perfect to me. Nothing is perfect, but that's why I said almost. But there's a lot of slow tension building segments and moments where you are walking kind of slow through because you can't see. So of course you're not gonna run into a damn bit like a room without knowing what the hell is going on because you can't see. But in that demo, there's parts where you're moving really slow, peeking, and then like some shit'll happen and it'll kick you into overdrive, and that's when you have to decide whether you're gonna fight or fly. You're either gonna run or you're gonna start battling. Now, thinking of, oh my god, speaking of the battling, I'm having a hard time today. Speaking of the battling, a lot of people asked me on Twitter, was there a lot of ammo in the demo? Did it feel like survival? There was a lot of bullets in the demo. I had around like 50 or 60 in the I think when you first start off, they start you off with 25, and I think by the end of the demo, I had maybe 40. I think the most I had was about 65, which to me is about normal. I know if you play RE2, OG RE2, you find quite a bit of ammo in the beginning. By the time you get to the police station, you have quite a bit of ammo. So it feels about the same. The difference is, though, is that with old RE2, you couldn't aim with your gun. You know, you would just kind of shoot the enemy until they went down. In this one, you actually have over-the-shoulder shooting like RE4, which there is no laser sight, by the way. A lot of people are asking if there's a laser sight. No, it is a crosshair just like RE7, because the game's engine is a modified version of RE7. So it's called the RE engine, I believe. Let's see what else I wrote on here we can talk about. Oh, a lot of people, including myself, was a little worried about the character models. I know there is one specific piece of art that's going around that shows Leon and Claire, and it kind of looks like shit. But in-game, it looks a lot better. And not because it's dark, because a lot of people, well, it's dark, you can't even see it, that's why it looks like crap. I mean, it doesn't look like crap, but I haven't seen Claire in-game yet. Claire's not in the demo. You play as Leon. But Leon actually looks pretty good for what he is. He looks believable. It doesn't bother me. I thought it was going to bother me, because they changed Chris, and that bothered me. But at least this looks similar. A lot of people are complaining about how Leon looks too young. I don't know about you, but Leon is 21 years old. And when I was 21 years old, I looked like I was like 15. And from what Leon looks like, he looks like he's pretty, you know, Leon still looks like he's like 15 or 20, and he's like 40-something, and like RE6 and shit with his little stubble. If he shaved, he'd look like he's 15. And people are fussing about, oh, he looks way too young. But man, I ain't had no damn beard at 21. I know some people that had beards in like 5th grade. The difference is, it looks fine to me. I don't think they did a bad job with Leon, and Claire looks a little questionable in certain aspects, but she's alright. But Leon looks fine to me. Have you guys seen what OG Leon looked like? I'm gonna put some pictures up on screen so you can see some of the old ones. Damn. For real? Like, for real? Speaking of Leon, I really like his design, his clothing design, because his costume actually looks believable, because as you can see on screen right now, the original RE2 police uniform looks just weird. And I always found it kind of awkward that he's like a cop, and he's not wearing the same clothes as everyone else. He's got like weird ass like plated chest piece. I'm guessing that's his body armor. And then I think he has shoulder pads in this one. I don't know. I think he did have shoulder pads. No, he didn't. It looks weird. I was like, why is everyone else not wearing the same clothes Leon's wearing? It's like, and then it's weird in general. It just looks awkward. So in this one, he actually looks like a regular police officer. He's wearing like, you know, a button up and like slacks, and he's got like a bulletproof vest on with the RPD logo on it. It looks more believable. It looks normal. So I actually really like Leon's new clothes. Well, I guess OG clothes, but I'm sure maybe they'll stick like some OG costumes in there. Speaking of bullets, we were talking about bullets because people said like, oh, how many bullets are there? So let's go ahead and talk about the ammo. So we talked about the ammo. Let's see how the bullets in the knife. So a zombie takes 2 headshots, and they go down. Once they're down, they will get back up a little later, or if provoked, like if you shoot them again or stab them or something, they will get back up. They usually stay down for about 20-30 seconds, then they get back up, which then they take 2 more headshots to be dead. So a zombie takes about 4 headshots to kill if you have good aim. Body shots, we already know that. It takes like 5 or 6, 7, 8. It takes a lot of gunshots to the body to take them down. Now here's the new thing in this Resident Evil game, is that the knife is actually not sucky. The knife never was sucky, but I never felt satisfaction from knifing a zombie because you just go, like it was just so lame. I hated it. But in this one, the knife actually can cut arms and legs off now. You can jug them up pretty good and get some meat action, cut some parts off. Same thing with the gun. You shoot a zombie in the kneecap twice, that leg's gone, and he will crawl towards you. Same thing with arms. You can shoot him in the shoulder, in the elbow, arms fall off. So there was a lot of dismemberment in the game with knives and guns, making the guns feel a lot more powerful, I guess. Even though the sound of the gun doesn't really sound super powerful, but the zombies fall apart when you shoot them. The same strat, usually the best way to save ammo is to shoot them twice in the head and stab them before they can get back up. That's just OG Resident Evil knowledge, but it's a really good way. Speaking of knives, let me tell you guys how knives are now. I wrote this later on my list, so I apologize if I talk about it again, because I wanted to bring it up since I'm talking about knives, and it's like at the bottom of my list of stuff I want to talk about. So, remember defensive weapons in Remake? How you'd have a knife on you, a zombie would grab you, you'd stab him in the face, and then you wouldn't take damage? Well, in this game, you have your normal knife, like your regular ass knife that you fight with. That knife can actually be used as a defensive weapon. When you get grabbed, you press L1, and you will stab the zombie in the head with the knife, in which the knife will then be stuck in their head. You can get your knife back, by shooting that zombie and killing him, and then you can pull the knife out of their head. There are multiple knives you can find out there to replace the knife that you lose. I'm not sure if you can carry more than one knife. When I played the demo, I did not get grabbed, so I didn't do the knife thing, but I know that that's how they handle the knife thing, because that's how they explain it to you in the tutorial, that you can use your knife to defend yourself and you have to kill them to take it back, which is pretty cool, because I always thought it was weird that, like, why do you gotta carry these, like, little letter openers, you know? These little, like, letter openers to stab a zombie in the head. You got this big-ass combat knife. Why can't you just do that? So that's cool, making your knife actually more useful outside of people try-harding Resident Evil or trying to save ammo. It's pretty awesome. I think that's a really cool addition, and it makes it a little more real, even though it's zombies. Let's see what else is on this list. We talked about zombies taking 2 headshots. New items I saw in here. So you can craft your own ammo. There's craftable ammo like RE7. The inventory is just like RE7 with the squares in the top right corner. Your health when you're in your inventory is in the bottom left corner. It's the same thing. It'll be green. It'll say fine. It's pretty big in the bottom left corner. You also have 4 slots for weapons, just like RE4, which you can swap between with D-pad. I mean RE4, RE7, my bad. So that's about the same. So it mechanically in depth, like inside of the menus, it's RE7. There is a new item that I noticed while playing, is there are boards you can find that you use to board up windows. Now what that does is sometimes you'll find a broken window, or you will find a zombie banging on a window, which when you play Resident Evil, common sense means that zombie's going to come through that window at one point in time. But you can actually use boards to board up the windows. Now when you board up the windows, I don't know if this completely stops them from getting through, or if it just slows them down. I don't even know if zombies will continue to respawn out that window, or maybe it's just one way for a zombie to get in. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it might be a constant, I don't know. Resident Evil doesn't really do constant respawning enemies. It might just be one time that they bust through and it's just annoying. Because that would be kind of silly, having constantly respawning a weapon. Like, survival horror games don't do well with respawning enemies because you run out of bullets fighting the same shit over and over again. So I hope it's not that. But you have boards now to block the windows. In the area where the liquor is, if you played RE2, you know what I'm talking about. You know when he climbs across the window, which he doesn't do in the demo. That's a completely different area. You still find liquor shit there, like the dead guy with his head twisted off, and like a bunch of slashes on the wall, but you do not see the liquor in that specific window that the liquor first shows himself to you. In that area is where you find your first board, and I think the next window after that, because you know in that hallway you can use the wire in RE2 to bring the shutters down to close the window so zombies don't go through. I think in that hallway is when you can use your first board to board up a window. There's a busted window, and then from that point on I think there's about 3 more windows that you can board up. There are herbs and first aid sprays. Of course, I didn't have to use any because I didn't get grabbed, so I'm not 100% sure how they work. I'm sure it probably works just like RE7. He's just gonna go or whatever, and then with herbs you just use them. Knife mechanics we talked about, craftable ammo we talked about. The game feels really familiar but different. It's so hard to fully explain how I felt while playing it. It's like everything was new, but it felt familiar. And I don't know how I can best explain that. I don't know. It's like, you know where you are when you're running around, but it looks different. Because like the map is still extremely similar to how it was in RE2, because duh, it's RE2. But like everything looks different, but it's the same. I just keep repeating myself. You get what I'm saying, right? It's like imagine like you growing up in a house and the house is remodeled, but the outline, what is it called? The overlay, outline? It's the same, but it's different. So like when you walk through your house, you're like, man, like this is all the same, but it ain't. It's like that. It's hard to explain, but I felt like it's all new, but I felt like I've been here before because I've played Resident Evil 2 a lot. Way too much. And you guys know how bad I am with maps, so like I never use the map, so I just memorized everything. And you know, it must have taken a long time to memorize stuff because I can't remember shit. So it felt good to be back in the police station. It felt really good, like a homecoming, but everything is a lot different. There's a new unicorn puzzle. You know the unicorn puzzle? When you get the unicorn medal, when you meet, you find Chris's diary, his journal. When you find his journal and you bump into Claire and you find the unicorn medal, you pop in and you get your first key, right? That's different now. Now I think there was 3 different metals you have to find to put in it to make the unicorn spit out your shit. Speaking of which, also with the unicorn puzzle, it's still in the main hallway, but you also run into Marvin in the main hallway now in the demo. Marvin, you guys remember Marvin, right? You know, there's survivors in the other rooms. You know, the guy looked like dead Will Smith and then he turns purple. So you see him in the hallway. He's the one that actually gives you your knife in the demo. Another cool thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about zombies can chase you through doors now. So there's no safe haven of juking a zombie out and then running, and then he's gonna bust his ass through that door and he's going to follow you. So I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just gonna juke out the zombies, which you can, yeah, you can juke them out, but they will chase you. So you have to keep going. I did read an article, actually earlier today, that Tofu and the crocodile is back. Tofu was like a secret mode in Resident Evil 2, and the crocodile is a boss that was probably the easiest boss in Resident Evil history. But that's all I have to say about the demo and my experience and letting you guys know some of the mechanics of it. I'm actually extremely excited for Resident Evil 2. You have no idea how excited I am, especially since it comes out like the day after, well, January 25th, 2019. I actually have some other stuff I want to talk to you guys with the trailers, because you know I have the trailers on loop right now, hopefully, without getting copyrighted, because that's what they do. So in the game, we know that we have Leon, we have Claire, we see Marvin and Leon's pep talk in the trailer, the atmosphere, the darkness, we see Sherry, and we see Claire. There's only one scene with Claire. I want to know what Claire's costume looks like. We have not seen what Claire's bottom looks like. And no, I don't mean her butt. I mean her like, I really liked Claire's biker clothing in Resident Evil 2. I thought it was just really cool how they showed off that she drove a chopper. And she dressed like a biker. And then it's funny because in Darkside Chronicles, when they kind of redesigned her, they like gave her like cowboy boots. Does that make sense? Do people that drive choppers or ride choppers wear cowboy boots? I don't know. They gave her cowboy boots. I thought it was a little weird. But I like Claire's design of her clothing with her black undersuit and her really tiny like biker clothes. I thought it was elegant and sexy. And now it looks like she's just wearing a red button-up. I don't know. We don't know. We see... we talked about Sherry. Sherry looks different. Everyone looks different, but Sherry looks doesn't look like what I thought she would, but it's fine. She's a little girl. We see the mayor's daughter on Chief Iron's table. We know how that goes when you find creepy-ass Chief Iron's shit during Claire's story, which that's another thing I have to mention. It has been confirmed that it is going to just be Leon A and Claire B, or Claire A and Leon B. Probably Claire A and Leon B, because that's canon. There's not 4 scenarios like there are Resident Evil 2, and a lot of people were very upset about that, because you can play A and B with both characters, which technically meant you had 4 games in there. But now there's only 2. It's just Leon and Claire. It's just what Leon did during the shit, and then what Claire did during the shit. So we only got 2 game modes on there. I'm sure they're gonna add more because they said they're gonna bring back Tofu, so that's another one. If Tofu's back, we know Hunk is gonna be back. So I guess technically 4 now. Will Extreme Battle be back? I'm positive that some sort of Extreme Battle will be back, because every Resident Evil game has some sort of like arcadey like mode to it that gets you to like play. Resident Evil 7 had it with the basement thing when you had to survive till morning with Clancy. So I'm sure it's gonna have some other modes. I'm just hoping we don't have to pay for them. Capcom, please, please, just keep it. Don't charge us, because they charge us for Resident Evil 7's mode with the I can't remember what the mode is called, but they charge us for that. But yeah, we see the mayor's daughter at Chief Iron's desk. There's a silhouette of Ada. Ada has a new design. I heard from some people that her design is based off of her prototype design. She looked like she's wearing a trench coat. I've actually never seen it, so I probably should Google it. But they show a silhouette of Ada. They show Mr. X. I'm so happy he's back. Which, of course, he has to, because he's very important to the story, I guess. But he wears a little top hat now, like a little fedora. Look like he's, there's like a part where he's like busting through a door and he's got a little fedora on. Like he's trying to sell you some shit. And if you ain't buying, he's making you buy. But from the trailer, that's what it looks like we've seen. There's 2 different trailers. I will have links to the trailers in the description. I personally like the trailer we didn't get during the press conference, because that trailer actually showed a tiny bit of gameplay, because I wanted to know what the gameplay was like, whereas the other one was more of like cinematics. But that's pretty much all I have to say about Resident Evil 2 for right now. Until we get more information, I will constantly update on this game and let you guys know as I find out more information. I'm not gonna like put up a video like, oh man, they said it's gonna be 2-player. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna I'm gonna wait till there's a bit of information and we're gonna make a video and talk about it, because I am excited. Resident Evil 2 is one of my all-time favorite games, and I'm not like, oh, I'm going buck wild because I like it. I'm like really legitimately excited because this game feels like Resident Evil 2 in 2019. Like Resident Evil 2, because the game comes out in 2019, next year. Resident Evil 2, from what I played, if Resident Evil didn't turn into an action shitfest in Resident Evil 6, because Resident Evil 4 was amazing. Resident Evil 4 was the beginning of the end. And what I mean by the beginning of the end is that's when they took that formula that was so good and they just fucked it all the way up through 5 and 6. I personally didn't like 5 all that much. I love Chris, but 5 was, I just didn't like it. It was whatever. I ain't give it was whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, it was cool. I beat it. I played a lot of Mercenaries, but like I never really wanted to play the story mode again because I just didn't really think it was fun. I didn't like it. I don't like co-op. I don't like playing with people. So Resident Evil 6 is the same shit, but worse. And Resident Evil 6 is the one thing I like about Resident Evil 6 is that they actually give you bang for your buck. Game is long as hell. There's like 4 game modes, each 6 to 8 hours long. It's like 30, 40 hours of gameplay. The only thing that sucks is that like once you hit a certain point in every story mode, it's like the same shit. Because they like meet, you know, at the Usanok fight, like a bunch of people meet, and then it just kind of just becomes the same thing. But yeah, I feel that this game is a perfect example of what Resident Evil should be right now. That's the best I can say about it. I feel that if Resident Evil stuck to what Resident Evil is and not what it became after 4, I feel that this is exactly what Resident Evil would be, and nothing else. Like Resident Evil 7 was cool and all, I was actually pleasantly surprised with how enjoyable it was because I was not feeling it when they first showed it off. I was actually extremely disappointed with how it looked until I played it, and I actually ended up really, really liking it. But I honestly feel, I'm gonna say it one more time, I honestly feel that Resident Evil 2 Remake is exactly what Resident Evil needs to be right now. And it is great. And it's gonna be good. It is gonna be really good. And here's the best part. When it comes out and it does well, they're probably gonna do 3. Boy, am I looking forward to that. Not really. Oh, I guess I am. Oh, what are they gonna do? I guess we're gonna see it because Mr. X is gonna be chasing us, because that's like a preview of Nemesis butt fucking you a whole game. Great. It's my favorite. Not really. I remember seeing a lot of people saying like, oh, you like Resident Evil 2? I'm like, yeah. Do you think Resident Evil 2 is gonna do so well that they're gonna do like DLC for Resident Evil 3 and have you play as Jill because it happens at the same time? No, they're gonna make a whole new game. Why would they make DLC for Resident Evil 2? They just, you know what I mean? Like, make Resident Evil 3 a DLC for 2? Why the hell would they do that when they could just make another game and make more money? You feel me? So that's all I've got to really say about Resident Evil 2. Like I said, there's actually quite a bit of gameplay. I sadly could not record gameplay because I'm not special enough. But there is a lot of demo gameplay out there for you guys to check out for yourself. I hope you guys are liking what you see. Like I said, I know a lot of people are a little bummed about the scenarios, there only being 2. A lot of people don't like the way Leon and Claire look, but trust me, they look way better in-game than they do in that, because it's one piece of art that says Resident Evil 2 across the bottom that shows Claire and Leon. They look like shit, man. Trust me, they look way better in the actual game. But, did I mention that you can discard items? Just like, well, it's just like Resident Evil 7, you can discard items there too. I'm really excited, and I can't wait. January 25th cannot come any faster. It needs to hurry up. This is gonna be like 6 months of just... Hopefully we get a demo soon. Fingers crossed we get a demo soon, guys. Because if we get a demo, it's ogre. It's ogre. It's demo time. We're gonna do it. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble for 25 minutes. I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you're all having a good weekend. I hope you all had a good E3 week. I'd love to know what you guys have to say about Resident Evil 2 in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys... Let's do it like this. What are you most excited for? What are you hoping to see? And what is a thing you're not really liking about it? You know, you can fully like something and Not nitpick. People be nitpicking. Leon's butt chin. Where? Ruined the game for me. Someone legitimately said that to me on Twitter. Leon's butt chin ruins the game for them, even though the majority of the game you're looking at the back of his fucking head. So sure. Okay. Alright. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to read it. I'd love to see what you guys got going on. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you guys later today or tomorrow. I need to pick some other stuff I wanted to talk about. There's quite a few games. I want to make like a big old jumbo list. Yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful morning, a great day, a beautiful afternoon, and a wonderful night. And I'll see you guys later.
Bye. Bye.